Hello students, welcome to online classes of Geography of class 10. This is my fifth class of your chapter number 5, Mineral and Energy Resources. I have completed the mineral resources in the previous class. Today I am going to start with the energy resources. Types of energy resources, we know the two types, and then I am going to proceed with the explanation about the categories of the conventional energy resources. Now let us proceed with the first part of it, that is, what is energy actually? Energy is basically what we can say, that is the capacity to do the work even when we are not having better sleep or good food. That means our capacity of performing various day-to-day activities, it's just lower down. So that means why we didn't receive the sources of energy that basically gives us power to do the work. So energy is capacity to do work, and energy can be changed from one form to another, but it is neither be created nor be destroyed. Now neither be created nor be destroyed means, what does this indicate? That when we are, it's basically related to our part, that is when we are, it's related to the human body energy I am talking about, that when we are getting our foods, so who are there to create the energy? It is within our own natural processes it is being created, and it's not destroyed. We are not nowhere to destroy the energy that has been already been created within our body. But when we talk about the energy resources, that we are getting it from the resources that is present on the earth's surface or within the earth's surface, that we are extracting out it, we are creating it, and if we are not properly utilizing it, that means we are destroying it. So as energy resource is something that can be produced heat, power, and to give life to the objects, and produces electricity, so that every matter can be every electricity matter that store energy, and is called, it is termed as fuel. Now you have heard about fossil fuels. The energy that we get it with the help of that fossil matter, we term it as a fossil fuel. Now the matter that stored energy is called as fuel. Now there are two types of fuel. We are having conventional and non-conventional. Now let us proceed with the types of the conventional energy resources. Before going to this, you can see that what are the types of the conventional: coal, petroleum, natural gas comes under this, and one more is also there, electricity, because we generate out electricity, thermal electricity from the conventional. And the non-conventional, we are having solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, biogas, then geothermal energy, in this, or nuclear energy or atomic energy. These are the non-conventional energy resources. Now today I am going to proceed with the first. Let me just go with the difference between conventional and non-conventional energy resources, and then I am going to describe about the conventional energy resources separately for the coal, petroleum, and the natural gas. Now what is the basic difference between conventional and non-conventional? Now the conventional and non-conventional means the usage period of the conventional have been used since the early times. That means we can term it as a developed resources. But the non-conventional resources, it is the recent development, so we can term it as a potential resources. Now availability, it is limited, because these are basically present on the within the crustal part or on the crustal part, and here it is in abundance, it is there in abundance. Availability is there in the abundance for future use. Even we have started its use, but it's in a limited manner, but for future use we are having it's in abundance. Now what is its nature? One is exhaustible, another one is inexhaustible. Renewability, conventional cannot be renewed, but non-conventional can be renewed. Then response to the environment. Now response to the environment, conventional one, they just causes pollution, Now when we burn the coal, when the vehicles are there using the petroleum and the diesel, what is the resultant? They emit out smoke, so they causes pollution. But non-conventional one is eco-friendly. They does not emit out any sort of harmful gases in that order compared to the conventional. Now the cost, the capital investment is required more for the conventional. Why? Because every time we have to extract out these resources, but here once the installation is there, then continuously there is a flow of the resources, so it is comparatively cheaper. And we can get the example: coal, petroleum, natural gas, here solar energy, wind energy, etc. So hopefully the difference between the conventional and non-conventional is clear to everybody. Now let us move to the first type of the conventional, that is coal. Now we all know coal is an inflammable organic substance. Why we are using the word organic over here? Because it is formed due to the decomposition of the decayed part of the vegetation. So it is organic, and basically when it is a decomposed part and it is found in a stratification manner, that means it is a sedimentary rock and the coal is extracted out from the sedimentary rock. Now the formation of the coal is due to continuous compression. Now more the compression, the better or the hard is the coal. So the compression and the inner heat and the pressure, that is not only there for a few years, it takes million of years to create such type of compression, to create form the coal. The greater the compression, the superior type of the coal we get, and the lesser is the compression, the inferior type of the coal is there. Now let us move to the that is the basic three factors that gives the classification of the coal or the variety of the coal. Number one is the degree of the compression. Number two is at what depth the the coal has been formed, and number three, the time of the burial, how much time it has been taken to bury it out. So what is the, as I said, time of burial. So what is the another name we can give to the coal? Buried sunshine. Coal is also termed as buried sunshine. Why? Because it gives energy, sun is giving energy, but here sun is in the atmospheric level and here it is within the crustal part. So it is termed as buried sunshine. Now next, uses. The power generation 70% is there for the use. Energy supply to the industry, domestic users, even there are for the vehicles. Like at present it is not there, but earlier it was there, for you have heard about the steam engines. So the usage were there for the vehicles too, means for the transportation public too. Now I am just displaying one picture where you can find out that how the coal is formed. Now which type of coal? We are having four categories of the coal: peat, lignite, bituminous and anthracite. Now peat is the first that is present over here. You can see this vegetative part entirely, which is having less depth, degree of compression. You can see, so, and the time taken is also left, and it is not at a deeper site. Depth is also not there. Degree of compression is less, and the time of the burial is also less. So we are getting the most inferior type of the coal, where the carbon content is very less and the moisture content is maximum. So it is peat, and gradually you can find out when the degree of compression increases, the depth increases, we are getting the superior quality of the coal. Next comes lignite, then comes lastly that is bituminous, and lastly the most superior quality where the carbon content is maximum, we are getting the good type of the best quality of the coal, that is anthracite. Now just move on to the basic features of all these type of the coal. Basic features of all these type of the coal. Now here for the anthracite we are having the carbon content which is more than 80%. We are having 60 to 70% of the bituminous carbon content, lignite 50 to 60, and just below 40% is the peat. Next we are having the inflammable capacity, that is the capacity of that heat capacity, that is having the highest quality, which is there for the anthracite. That is next is there for subjected to buried dip is there for the bituminous. Then low grade brown coal, lignite is considered as a brown coal with a high moisture content as the that is lignite. And lastly, decaying plants in swamps produce peat, which is there for the peat. Now production and its occurrence is less. Production and its occurrence is less. It is having high calorific values, used for generation of electricity, that is there for lignite. And lastly, lack of lots of moisture is present, so maximum smoke is there, so it is having less heating capacity. Already I mentioned it. Now you will ask question, ma'am, why the production and occurrence is less? Now the production and occurrence is less. Why? You have seen that the depth is needed, then the time is needed, and the degree of compression is needed. So it takes a huge time to develop the anthracite. Its availability is less, its production time is more. That is why its production and occurrence is less compared to bituminous. Now next I am proceeding with it. As I said, it's found at a greater depth. It is comparatively present. Now one more thing, it is bituminous is termed as metallurgical coal. Now metallurgical coal means where the metallurgy means all the industries where it is being used, it is considered as a metallurgical coal. So when we know that 80% of the carbon content is there, which is having a high calorific value, so when we know for the anthracite, then why anthracite is not a metallurgical coal? Why bituminous is a metallurgical coal? Because comparatively it is softer than the anthracite, which is easily inflammable, abundance is there, and as there is having a less moisture content, so the residue that is left out after the burning, which is also comparatively less. So as a result of all these properties, compared to anthracite, the bituminous is considered as a metallurgical coal. Now anthracite is basically used in smelting of iron. This is also used for metallurgy, as various activities are there, but anthracite is used in comparatively in less quantity because availability is less. Lignite is there to generate out electricity, and here peat is basically for the domestic purpose. So hopefully the 4 categories of the coal with its properties is clear to each and every student. Now you can see the picture of these 4 types of the coal. First is anthracite, bituminous, lignite and peat. Now let us move to the that is the distribution of the coal. Now can you just tell me what is the ideal geographical site, or in your mind what does it comes when we say about the coal, where we can find out the exact coal or the excessive coal seams? It needs vegetative cover, it needs moisture. So the valley sides are the ideal geographical site where the coal seams are present, or where the coal depositions can be done in that order. Now we are having 2 rock series, Gondwana, which is older rock series, and tertiary, which is the new rock series. Now Gondwana rock series, where we are having high carbon content, means high grade, high carbon content and high calorific value, and less moisture depth, and it's costly. Why it is costly? Because Gondwana is a hard structure. So to extract out this coal, comparatively we need to invest a lot for its extraction, but which is not the case for the tertiary. Now Gondwana is nearly 200 million years in age, and it's 55 million years of age is the tertiary. Metallurgical coal, please pay attention that metallurgical coal is present in these states, and it's basically found in the valley regions of Damodar, then the Bokaro, Godavari, Mahanadi, Son, all these are having a valley region. And here it is found in the northeastern state, the Meghalayan plateau, where we are having the presence of vegetative cover and excessive rainfall. So what do you think? here we will get a better quality of the coal or a less quality of the coal. The better quality of the coal is found in the Gondwana rock series, and inferior quality of the coal is found in the tertiary rock series. Why? Because they are more harder and over there they are comparatively softer. So soft coal will not give a good quantum of the energy when we are going to extract it out because of its low calorific value. Now the places, as I said, it's the same. Now let us proceed to the map. You can find out, it's already there in your NCERT too. You can find out that these are the belts of the coal mines, that is Singrauli, Korba, then it is Bokaro, Jharia, Raniganj, Talcher, Singarani, and one more is there, Neyveli. These are the coal mines of our country. Now next we will move to the petroleum. It is also a fossil fuel. Now coal is due to the decomposition of the decayed part or decomposition of the vegetative cover, that is plants. Now due to the decomposition of the marine animals, the petroleum has been formed. So what is the thing? That petroleum is basically found in the oceanic beds or the sea beds. Now the uses of the petroleum, it's used for heating and lighting, generation of electricity, lubricant for machinery, raw material for manufacturing industries, used for vehicles, and there is one important, that for the chemical and for the synthetic fiber it acts as a raw material. So nodal industry, it's basically considered as a base industry, because without petroleum we cannot proceed with the that is the development of the synthetic fibers or for the chemical industry. So it is considered as a nodal industry. Now let us go with the occurrences of the petroleum reserve. Now you can see it is a picture that is given over here, which is below the oceanic beds. It is the oceanic beds. Now the petroleum are there within the two types. It's oceanic beds within the between the two rocks, permeable rocks and impermeable rocks. Now impermeable rocks are there and the permeable rocks are also there. Petroleum is trapped out between the permeable and the impermeable rocks. You can see it is basically, it's mentioned over there, syncline and anticline. Anticline means the crest part and syncline means the valley part, which is there within the submarine mountains. I am not talking about the features that is present on the earth's surface. It is below the oceanic beds. When the submarine mountains are there, over there we are having the crestal part, that is the crest region, which is termed as anticline, and the valley or the depression region, which is termed as syncline. So in both the cases the petroleum reserves are there. Now you can see the reservoir is present over here now, and it is being having the layer of water beside that, and above that we are having the layer of oil. Now when the marine organism get decomposed due to excessive heat and pressure, the fatty acids of marine organism transforms into a waxy coated material termed as kerogen. Kerogen, 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 kerogen. This waxy coated material termed as kerogen, again due to excessive heat and pressure, turns up into a liquid matter or a molten matter. We term it as a crude oil. Now when all these are having continuously, it is there due to excessive heat and pressure. Now when the liquid matter develops, what is the resultant? Due to excessive heat and matter, something in a gaseous matter gets evaporated, and being a part of the gaseous which is lighter, obviously it will lie above the liquid part. When it will lie above the liquid part, it is being trapped out between the impermeable rocks. So that is the location of the natural gas being lighter, it is above there, and below that being heavier the liquid part, that is the crude oil or petroleum occurrences is there. The same thing has been described over here. Let us move to the that is the distribution of the petroleum. Now the distribution of the petroleum, we are having Mumbai high, which is there over the Arabian Sea, Gujarat, Assam, onshore and offshore. We are having two types of the petroleum belts. Onshore, which is having that, shore means what? Coast. The one which is located on the coast, we are term it as a onshore. So Ankaleshwar in Gujarat, Assam, Digboy, which is the oldest, Nahar Katia, Moran Hugrijan, which is there in Assam, these are onshore, that is located on the shore. And the one which is not located on the shore, that is shore or the coast, that is Mumbai high, offshore, Bhasan, that is also offshore. Now how the petroleum formed, as I just described, it is formed due to the excessive compression of the animals, that is the marine animals, million of years under the great heat and pressure, and the fat turned up into oil, and this way we get the crude oil, which afterwards purify and we get the petroleum. Now next we are having the distribution. Now just see the distribution. You can, I'm just pointing it out, Kalol, Ankaleshwar, which is there in Gujarat, Kalol, Ankaleshwar, which is there in Gujarat, these are onshore. Bhasan, Mumbai high, these are offshore. Again onshore entirely is there in the Assam region. This is entirely in the Assam region. Digboy, the oldest oil field. Then we are having Makum, we are having Nahar Katia, we are having Sip Sagar. All these are the oil fields. You can find out in your NCERT map also. Now what is it? Now one big question. Kalol Ankaleshwar is adjacent to the coastal area, but Assam does not have any connectivity with the coastal region. Then how is it possible to get the petroleum reserves over here? It is because earlier it was a part of Tethys Sea, and when it was a part of a Tethys Sea, due to the decomposition of the marine organism which was present over there in the Tethys Sea, now after the formation of our country, when we have extracted out, we got the decomposition of those marine creatures, so we are able to extract out, and thus it is the oldest oldest oil field that has been discovered in our country. Now lastly, natural gas. As already I explained that natural gas is above the oil field because due to excessive heat and pressure, the gaseous matter that ejects out, it's being trapped out over there, and natural gas is comparatively having less carbon dioxide emission, so it is considered as a clean energy for the future generation as it pollutes the environment less. Now what are its uses? It used as a raw material, it's used in the petrochemical industries, it is used in fertilizers industries, its source of energy and the CNG vehicles. Now we are having its important natural gas pipeline, the longest one in our country, the cross country, that is Hajira, Vijaypur, Jagdishpur, the longest pipeline, which is the length is 1700 km. It's one of the most important pipeline of gas, natural gas in our country. Now there are other places of distribution also, Krishna Godavari Basin, Mumbai High, Gulf of Cambay, that is Gujarat, Khambat region, Andaman Nicobar, which are there. These are the, now why considered as a fuel of century? As I said, why it is considered as a fuel for the present century? Because it is having it is a clean energy. And why it is a clean energy? Because it emits low carbon dioxide, and when it is emitting low carbon dioxide, that means it is a eco-friendly energy. So it is a energy for the present century. Now the next is electricity. Okay, let me just show you the gas line, that is the pipeline for the natural gas from Hajira, which is there in Gujarat, to this part. This is the 1700 km cross country high that is gas pipeline. Now next we will proceed to the electricity. Now electricity, either we can generate it from the fossil fuel, or we can, that means we can generate it from the conventional resource, or we can generate it from the renewable resource, water. That is hydroelectricity from the water, thermal electricity from the coal. Now you will say, then why it is coming under the conventional energy resources when we are getting a renewable resource? Why? Because what is the first point? It is basically the resource that has been got the status of developed resource. Conventional energy resource is the developed resource. So hydroelectricity got the status of developed resource, so it is considered as a coming under the category of the conventional resources. And secondly, another thing, that conventional resources are costly, so generation of hydroelectricity is also costly. So thus why it comes under this category of the energy resource. Now next it is clear that it is through the running of the turbines, and it is through the burning of the that is the fossil, and it emits out pollution, but it is not emitting out the pollution. It is basically there for the exhaustible resource, it is basically there for the inexhaustible resources. Now one very big question, the more the consumption of the energy, that is electricity, the better is the development, or it is considered as an index of development. So why it is considered as an index of development? Because all the sectors of the economy, whether it is primary, secondary, tertiary, that will consume the maximum electricity. The more the electricity is consumption by the primary, secondary and tertiary, that means the more the development is proceeding for the country, or continuously it is accelerating the rate of the development. So it is considered as an index of development. So today I have completed the entire conventional sources of energy with their features, with their categories. If you are having any doubts, without any hesitation, mention it in the comment section. It's a request to each and every student, please follow the PDF, please follow the video, and write up to date your work, writing up in the copy, and your doubts to be mentioned it in the comment section. And next class, that means on Friday, maybe I can come with the live class, online live class. So if it is possible, then beforehand only you will get the notification in this site only. And thank you for following the class. Have a nice day.